Hi everyone, it's Rachel, and today I'm going to give you some facts about Thanksgiving. So what comes to mind when you think of Thanksgiving? Family, feasting, football, and maybe the annual parades. Well, that's how most American families celebrate Thanksgiving. However, in other cultures, their celebrations have been more of like a harvest festival. Thanksgiving has been celebrated since November of 1863. However, it wasn't until 1941 that it became a federal holiday. Many families choose to celebrate Thanksgiving as a way to give thanks to God in specific. However, for a lot of families, it is a secular holiday. Thanksgiving was created to not only give thanks to God for some people, but also to thank the Native Americans for helping the Pilgrims live through the harsh winter. Now, a lot of the Pilgrims had already died, about half of them, and more would have died if the Indians hadn't stepped in. The very first Thanksgiving feast lasted for about 3 days and had enough food to feed 53 Pilgrims and 90 Indians. In traditional American Thanksgiving feasts, we have stuff like turkey, sweet potatoes, pumpkin pie, mashed potatoes, but back then, they actually ate something way different for their Thanksgiving feast. So if you look at it this way, our modern day turkey would represent any type of fowl that they were able to hunt. Our pumpkin pie was impossible to make back then because they didn't have the proper ovens. However, they were able to boil some pumpkin. Cranberries were not even introduced back then, and because they didn't have enough flour, they weren't able to make bread. So the first American Thanksgiving feast probably consisted of stuff like geese, swan, venison, duck, lobster, clams, dried fruit, berries, pumpkin, squash, and probably some other vegetables too. So if you're looking for an easy way to remember, when is the next Thanksgiving? Remember this little rule. Thanksgiving is always on the fourth Thursday of the month of November. This year, it's on November 26th. The first Thanksgiving actually took place in 1621 in the Plymouth Plantation. This was in Plymouth, Massachusetts. So if you remember hearing about the first Thanksgiving in school, you'll probably remember an Indian named Squanto. He resided with the Wampanoag tribe, and he was actually a translator for the Pilgrims. He spent some time in slavery, and there he learned English. So Squanto taught the Pilgrims how to harvest corn, catch eel, do other things to make it through the winter. So when they had their successful harvest and they survived, they had their first Thanksgiving. The Pilgrims had their first true Thanksgiving feast in 1623. This was because they went from farming communally to farming privately. That resulted in a larger harvest, and they were able to have a larger feast. The Pilgrims viewed Thanksgiving as more of a church holiday rather than just a feast holiday. And an annual Thanksgiving started to be developed in the 17th century. Coming up in a future video, more facts about Thanksgiving. And in a future video, paranormal facts. Thanks again for watching one of my videos. I hope you enjoyed today's. If you have any questions or comments, leave them for me. As always, rate my video and let me know what you think. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Bye! Thanksgiving is always on the fourth Thursday of the year, of the month of November. Thanksgiving is always on the fourth Thursday. Sounds so stupid. Well, remember this little rule. So if you're looking for Thanksgiving is always on the fourth Thursday of every November. Stupid.